Hi, I'm Katie Kincaid. I am up for Assistant Manager of the Year 2023. I work at Maple Knoll Apartments in Westfield, Indiana, and that is managed by Marquette Management. And I just celebrated my 7-year anniversary in August, and before that, I worked at another property for about 3 years, so I'm looking at about 10 years in the industry altogether. I am officially the Susan Lucci of this award. I have been a finalist for 5 years now, so fingers crossed, let's change that, okay? I serve on the convention committee with the Indiana Apartment Association, and so approximately once a month we meet up to get ready for that. That's coming up, obviously, at this point in a very, very short period of time. That's why I'm doing this. And we, as a staff, myself included, we always attend MMC each year, and we're lucky enough to be able to go both days and just fully take in everything, all the seminars, the trade show floor, and get as much information as we possibly can. Actually, last week I signed up to introduce 2 speakers during their seminars. My normal day-to-day, as you know, there's no such thing. Part of what I love about this industry is that no 2 days are exactly the same, which is really kind of nice it makes it a little easier to come to work every day, knowing that you're not going to do the exact same thing you did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. So ordinarily I try to start with, I run a delinquency and I make some follow-up calls if I needed. We're extremely lucky that a lot of our residents are pretty timely in their payments, so I don't usually have to chase people down or anything. Marquette actually has a guideline standard of a delinquency less than 2% of your total billed monthly rent, and then send out rankings every month, and we're ordinarily for second or third each month, as well as online payments. So, and then I am also in charge of all of our move-ins, our move-outs. I do all of our deposit accounting for final account statements, and then of course comes some collections with that as well. And then Marquette's a little different, so I do pay all of our invoices on site. So I normally will try to process those every day, because if I don't, they get behind, and then it's 30 invoices in one day. We'll just use today as an example. When I first got in, I've been by myself all week, so it's been a little chaotic. If our leasing consultant's not there, I'm our backup leasing consultant, so I did take a couple of tours today, cleaned out our lead queue, made some phone calls to some voicemails, but then I pulled a delinquency and I called some people on that one, and then I processed some invoices, and then lastly, every month I am in charge of submitting a final financial package to our owners each month. It's approximately 215 pages, and it's just a financial breakdown, a marketing breakdown of how we're using our money and all of that. Really super interesting stuff, I know. But I needed to get that done today, so that was on my list of things. Also this week, we had a staff meeting yesterday, and once a month I'm in charge of running a staff meeting and going over financials with the entire crew. It's really important that everybody is on the same page. The saying is, if you don't know the score, how can you play the game? And so if they don't know that they're over budget in a certain category, then they're going to just keep spending money in that category. I think it's really important to have that conversation with people, and it doesn't have to be long and drawn out, just, kind of a brief touching of this is where we stand for the year, this is where we need to improve, this is what we need to work on, and that's kind of a big push for me. Next week is actually Fire Safety and Resident Appreciation Week for us, so we have a resident event every day instead of once a week. So I made sure to post on social media about Monday's the chili cook-off, so I made sure to do that. Got everything lined up for breakfast on the go next week. So trying to kind of hype up these resident events. I don't really have to, because people will come on their own, but as far as like chili cook-off goes, obviously we want as many participants as we possibly can get. I'm just waiting on my air conditioner to turn off because it's drowning out my voice. We do things a little differently at Maple Knoll, and We usually have one resident event every week, 3 or 4 a month. And we as a staff, myself included, are all very active in all of those events, but it allows us to interact with our residents, and they always have a friendly face when they come to an event. They always at least know myself or one of our other office staff members. And it's kind of what we really enjoy to do for all of our residents, is kind of keep that appearance up and have all of those things for our residents to do. One of the things I love about this job / industry is helping people find their home. And I know everybody says that, but it's a genuine, this is where they spend all of their time, most of their time. And so you want them to be comfortable and you want them to be happy, because this is where they come home to. And I'll use an example. Just yesterday, I was showing an apartment to a widow, and she was concerned that she would be an older person by herself. And she asked what kind of people live here. And obviously we can't answer that for fair housing purposes. But as we were walking out of the model, the neighbor that lives next door to the model came out. Maggie, the resident, is also a little bit older. They're probably about the same age. And Maggie just spun into how much they love it here, her and her husband. They go to a lot of our events, and they'll even offer to help us set up. And how last week we went to pick up a prescription for her and her husband because she can't drive. And she even got a little choked up, and it was actually really sweet to watch, because you could tell that the lady I was showing really was kind of looking for something that was a community-based place to live, and Maggie definitely proved that that's exactly what Maple Knoll is, and we love her for that. And a lot of our residents are like that, actually. So it's really, really kind of nice to see all of that hard work that you put in. It reaffirms that this is what you are doing. You're making this home for people, and you want them to love it.